every year, TED gives out a prize. And that prize is not just, the cloud of the TED brand following you around and bringing attention to your work, but it's also some money and, more importantly, some help from everyone else. 2 years ago, the prize went to Chef Jamie Oliver to combat obesity around the world. Last year, it went to the artist JR. This year, the TED Prize is going to cities around the world to create the cities of the future. And I postulate that Rochester is one of these cities. So over the past 60 years, we've been reimagining this, how we define our American way of life. We went from this to this, yikes, to this, what we really want, which are approachable urban spaces where we can live and feel like we're part of a community, that we matter. So part of what's going to happen with the organization Rock City 2.0 is we're going to reimagine this city. We're going to do it with tactical urbanism. Rochester is actually a pretty walkable city. You don't really think that because of our winters. But in terms of walking score, Rochester is better than Los Angeles. We're better than Baltimore, Maryland. And we rank, around like the mid-walkable cities. We're not as walkable as New York, but I argue New York isn't that walkable. If you look at Rochester, you'll see that parts of the city are much easier to access as a pedestrian than others. And that's typically, what WalkScore calls the central business district. We call it the inside of the inner loop. Also, anything pretty much on Monroe is pretty walkable. So what we want to do with Rock City 2.0 is reimagine the way we've designed cities, not only in this country, but around the globe for the past 20th century. And that was making way for the automobile. Now, at the boom of the Industrial Revolution, people were out on the streets. They moved around as pedestrians because we could push over horses. Over time, trolleys became much less personal. We didn't really want to be near strangers. We wanted our own space. Then this great invention, the car, made us more mobile. It allowed us to only have to see our horrible families, and it really did separate us. So how do we get back from that separation? How do we take back community? We call the past Rochester our empty streets, Rochester 1.0. And what we want to reimagine at Rochester 2.0 is separating the automobile from our dream for a future city. Some of our core values of Rock City 2.0 are going to be reclaiming our streets, depaving them, bye-bye inner loop, making the city accessible for people who want to sell their art, reconnecting our neighborhoods, letting us walk from location to location around the city, encouraging loitering. When did it become such an evil, evil crime to hang out in our city? Encourage walking, even jaywalking. hang out on East Avenue in Alexander. You will see quite a bit of jaywalking. And it doesn't look like this. It's a little more like stumbly. Encourage play. No more master plans. You know, we get around urban design and we tend to focus on sort of the negative aspect of master plans. Rochester is already a developed city. So in order for us to evolve, we need to think beyond huge projects. Some of the actions we're going to take as part of Rochester 2.0 is rapid prototype events. We're going to be putting up signs, putting out chairs, making it cool to hang out in the city. Instead of getting in your car, driving to see a show at the Little or at Jiva, getting back in your car and driving back to your suburb, maybe you could hang out, walk around, go get some ice cream. We're going to be documenting our city for pedestrians too, making it much more accessible to find places to lock up your bike. We're going to mobilize that information so that you can get around. What we want you to do is just keep doing what you've always been doing. Everybody in this audience is great at something. Whether you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a designer, you're an IT guy who can talk to people. We want you to take action, to participate in your city that you live in, to love Rochester as much as you should. Now, if you want to be a part of Rock City 2.0, it's really simple. We're going to be posting what our monthly events are going to be on our Facebook page. We're also going to be a part of the city2.org, which is part of the TEDPrize. How do we, as a collective in this city, give back to the city that's our home? Some of the people in this room are featured as being part of the Rock City 2.0 movement already. Good job, guys. So like I said before, this future city is not some utopian dream that isn't even approachable at all, where we need to completely demolish our city and rebuild a new one. We can make small, tactical decisions. And sometimes it just starts with getting out of your car, putting on a pair of sneakers, and walking to an ice cream shop after a show. Thank you.